Hey everyone, it's Miss Grice. Today's topic is going to be about kites, and then we're going to transition back into triangles. But looking at properties of kites, so far we have talked about properties of quadrilaterals, four-sided figures. A kite is another four-sided figure, it's another quadrilateral that has two pairs of consecutive congruent sides. And remember that they're going to mark them with the little dash marks. One pair of opposite angles are congruent. So for this picture, it would be angle B is congruent to angle D. And then the diagonals are perpendicular. Perpendicular makes a right angle. So looking at those three properties, we are going to apply them into some problems. So I know a quadrilateral is 360 degrees, and I know that angle B and angle D are going to be congruent, so their angle measures are going to be the same. Since a quadrilateral is 360, I can do 360 minus 85 minus 43. That number I'm going to divide by 2. I want it in two equal parts. So when I do that, I get 116 degrees for both. Looking at number 2, again, knowing that one pair of opposite angles are congruent, so angle L and angle J are congruent to each other. So if L is 82, J is 82. And then to find angle K, I'm just going to do 360 minus 82 minus 82, 82 for the L, 82 for the J, then minus 71. And I'll get 125. All right, looking at number 3. So I'm going to go ahead and put in my perpendicular. Symbol. If WX is 14, I'm going to go ahead and mark that. So if WX is 14, then I also know that WZ is also 14. WR is 8. Again, I'm going to go ahead and mark it. It's asking me to find RZ, so it's asking me to find that little space. So if I look right here, I have a right triangle. So I'm just going to kind of redraw my right triangle. Here's my right angle. This is 8, 14. To find the other side of a right triangle, I can do the Pythagorean theorem. So 8 squared plus x squared equals 14 squared. 14 is my hypotenuse across from the right angle. So 8 squared is 64, x squared, 14 squared is 196, subtract, I get x squared equals 132. To get rid of the square, I have to square root, where I get x equals 11.5. Right, moving on to number 4, again, put my right angle in because I know that these are perpendicular to each other. AC is 38. Breaking 38 into two equal parts, I have 19 here, and I would have 19 here. E D is 41. From E to D is 41. Let me go ahead and mark it. It's asking me to find CD, so it's asking me to find this. Again, I have a right triangle that I am trying to find. So I'm going to just redraw my right triangle, make it a little bit easier to see. Here's my right angle. Here's my right angle. Across from the right angle is the hypotenuse, what I'm trying to find. Once again, I'm going to do Pythagorean theorem. So this time I'm doing 19 squared plus 41 squared equals x squared, because x is the hypotenuse, so it goes in the last place. 19 squared is 361. 41 squared is 1681. Combine those two, 2042. And to get rid of the square, I square root, to where I should get x equals 45.2. All right, looking at number 5. So number 5, if I look, again, looking at the properties, I have one pair of opposite angles are congruent. So these two angles are congruent to each other. So I'm just going to put them equal. 13x minus 32 equals 7x plus 22. Get rid of your smallest x. So I'm going to subtract the 7. So 6x minus 32 equals 22. Add your 32. And then divide. So you get x equals 9. Looking at number 6. Again, two angles, opposite angles are congruent. So I'm going to put those two equal to each other. So we have 8x minus 31 equals 5x plus 23. Get rid of your smallest x. Add your 31. And divide. Now this problem is asking me to find angle L. So find angle L, just plug in the 18. When you do that, you get angle L equals 113 degrees. Angle L equals 113. I know then that angle N equals 113. Okay, looking at number 7. So two pairs of opposite angles equal each other. So if D is 109, then I know that B is also 109. Quadrilateral, if I add all of the sides together, or sorry, all of the angles together, it equals 360. So I can do 360. Well, let's do 109 plus 109, 109 plus 109 plus 5x plus 14 plus the 3x plus 8 all equals the 360. Now I've got a whole lot of stuff going on the left side, so I'm going to combine my like terms. So I have an 8x. Then I'm adding all of my numbers together. When I add them all together, I'm going to get 109 plus 109 plus 14 plus 8 gives me 240. Put it equal to 360. Subtract your 240, where I get 120. And then divide. So I get x equals 15. All right, last problem for a kite. I know that this angle right here is 90 degrees. So if I kind of highlight this, I have a triangle. A full triangle is 180 degrees, so I can add all three angles together and equal it to 180. So here's my 90 degrees plus the 9x plus 1 plus the 23x minus 7, put it equal to 180. Just like number 7, I have a lot of things going on, so I'm going to combine my like terms. A 9x plus a 23x gives me 32x. A 90 plus a 1 minus a 7 gives me 84. Put it equal to 180. Subtract your 84. Equals 96. And then you divide. So I get x equals 3. Now my problem is asking me to find angle STV. So it's asking me to find this angle right here. Angle STV is the same angle as SRV. So this angle and this angle are the same. So if I plug in for angle R, I will get angle S. So 9 times 3 plus 1 gives me 28 degrees. All right, moving on to triangle midsegments. So a triangle midsegment is a segment connecting the midpoints of two sides of the triangle. So the mid segment of this triangle is going to be DE. So D is the midpoint, E is the midpoint, just connecting those two together. So if a segment joins the midpoints of two sides of the triangle, then the segment is parallel to the third side and is half as long. So DE, I'm going to put an arrow, is parallel to AC. If AC is 10, then DE would be 5. It would be half of the third side. So we just said DE is parallel to AC. DE is 1/2 of AC, or you can do 2 times DE to get AC. 2 times 5 gives you the 10, or 10 divided by 2 gives you the 5. All right, if L, M, and N are all midpoints, so I'm gonna kind of make my marks. L is the midpoint, so I know P to L, L to Q are the same. M is the midpoint, so from Q to M is the same as M to R. N is the midpoint, so from P to N is the same as N to R. So if PR from P to R is 46, from Q, or from P to Q, this whole thing is 40, and LN is 17. Do that in a different color. LN 17. We're finding all the other sides. So LM is this guy right here. He is parallel with MR. So if MR is 46, half of 46 would give me it's really light. Sorry, guys. So here's MN. It is half of PR. PR, they told me, is 46, so I just do 46 divided by 2. I get 23. MN let me get another color. MN is parallel with PQ. So if I know PQ is 40, half of 40 would give me 20. So MN is 20. MN half of this guy. So PQ 40. That gives me 20. QR, the QR is going with LN. LN is a smaller guy, so I want to double it. So this time I'm doing 17 times 2. So I get 34. And then MR. M to R. So it's this guy. MR, so if I know that the whole thing, we just found out the whole thing was 34, each side is equal, so 34 divided by 2 gives me 17. Looking at number 4, E, G, H are all midpoints. So because of that, I know that from here to here is the same as from here to here on all three sides. FG is 9, GH is 7, and CD is 24. So this whole guy is 24. All right, CE, from C to E is right here. I'm looking at its parallel guy, which is the 7. CE is the longer part, so I'm going to do 7 times 2 to get the 14. So this whole guy is 14. DE, from D to E, would be this guy. It's parallel with the 9. So to get the bigger guy, I'm going to do 9 times 2 to get 18. FH, from F to H is this guy. It's parallel with this long guy. So if the whole guy is 24, half of 24 gives me 12. The perimeter now, so let me go ahead and write in DE we just found was 18. Perimeter is, I'm adding all of the sides together, all the outside guys, so 24 plus 18 plus 14. That gives me 56. All right, looking at number 5. So we know that these are parallel. I can either do 2 times my small guy, put it equal to my big guy, or do half of the big guy, put it equal to the small guy. I'm going to double the smaller one and put it equal to the big guy. So 2 times 7 gives me 14x. Now we usually say we need to subtract the smallest x, but if I subtract this, then I have nothing left on the left-hand side, so I'm just going to subtract the 17. Then divide by -3, where I get x equals 6. And looking, these are parallel to each other, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to double the smaller one, put it equal to the bigger one. When I double, I have to double both things inside the parentheses. So subtract your smaller x. I can do that this time because I have something on the left-hand side with it. Add your 36. Then divide by 7. That's where you get x equals 14. Right. Same idea with number 7. These two are parallel. Double your inside guy, put it equal to the outside guy. Just like we did with number 6, I'm going to distribute. Get rid of your smaller x. Add your 25. Oops, sorry, that should be a plus. Divide, you get x equals 9. Now looking at my problem, it's asking me to find DE. From D to E, so I'm plugging in 4 times 9 plus 1. 4 times 9 is 36, plus 1 gives me 37. All right, last problem where we're applying, again, double the inside, put it equal to the outside. Just like we have been doing for 6, 7, we're distributing to both things inside the parentheses. Get rid of your smaller x. Add your 34. And then divide. Now again, just like number 7, this is asking me to find RT. RT, plugging in my 4. When I do that, I should get 86. You do have homework. If you have any questions, just let us know.